All right, fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay. All righty. Wow, wow, wow. I tell you, talk about having a difficult time, right? All right. Let's get the crack in here. Okay. Hi, everyone. Yes, yes. Okay, great. All right. Great. Sorry for the delay, everyone. It's been one of those days so far, but positive vibes. Let's just kind of bring it down a little bit. So, alrighty. So, thank you guys so much for joining me on this live chat here. So, let me kind of bring myself down a little bit because I was really getting all over the place about this whole thing not working. So, anyway, bring it back down. All right, here we go. So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to do candle magic, and I'm going to kill two birds with one stone here. So, I hope all you guys brought your candles with you. If you haven't, that's okay. That's all right. You just can watch along, and you can kind of do this by yourself at your own leisure. All right. So either a red or a pink candle will do. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the spell, and you're going to kind of go along with me. All right. And if you don't, like I said, you can just kind of follow along a little bit. So here we go here. So first things first, got your red candle here. So let me just kind of break this down a little bit. So candle magic is a very, actually it's kind of like the easiest magic to do because it's very specific in what you're trying to do. All right. And it's it's kind of easily accessible to anyone really. All right. So the most important part of candle magic is the color of the candle really and your intent. So let's just say you're trying to do like a money spell or something like that, right? So with like a money spell, you would pretty much use like either a green candle or for prosperity, maybe use like a blue candle or something like that. For purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to use a red candle and or pink candle like I said before. So the first thing I want you guys to do is light your candle. So again, remember, anyone can do this, all right? Preferably an adult, all right? Also, if there are any children around, you kind of may want to kind of get them away. I'm going to talk about some pretty adult subjects in my demonstration here, so I don't want any kind of kids to be around for this, all right? So, first thing you want to do is you want to kind of relax yourself. Relax yourself. You want to gaze into the flame. Now, if you have a piece of clothing, a picture, even a piece of hair or something like that from the person that you're wishing to come into, that you're wanting to come into your life, or this can even be used to improve. Normally, I do love spells to help improve an already existing relationship, okay? Now, you can use this to bring others into your life, but let me caution. In no way am I advocating using a spell on someone that is not in your life. I do believe in free will, so I'm just kind of putting it out here. Now, how you choose to use this is completely up to you. If you... Again, I want to quantify this. This is for people that already have an existing partner. Now, humans will be humans. So if you use this for someone you want to bring into their life, make sure that they're a willing participant, okay? I'll just leave it at that. All right, so if you have a picture or you have a piece of cloth or a piece of hair from the individual, that will work just as well too, because it's about establishing a link here. So what you do is you want to gaze into the flame. You want to almost become one with the flame. It's very, very important here that you pay very close attention to your breathing. Deep, shallow breaths. Now, the intent is very important here. So what you want to do is you want to see this individual that you're thinking about. All while focusing very directly at the flame. You want to become one with the flame. As it flickers, you begin to see the aura of the flame. That aura becomes your aura. You want to put your will and the candle's will, the flame's will rather, is of the same likeness. You want to see this person that you're thinking about. You want to see the end result of what you are willing into existence. Now, it's very important that you understand that you're not asking anything. You are willing this to happen. You know that it's going to happen as if it is a foregone conclusion. For example, you want to see yourself laying next to this individual. You want to envision yourself staring into their eyes. You want to see the moonlight glistening off of their body. You want to smell the excitement in the air. You want to feel their breath mingle with your breath. You want to be one with this individual. Your energies become one. You want to feel yourself coming closer to this person. You want to smell the intensity and the excitement in the air. You want to begin to suckle that individual until your bodies become one and move as one rhythmic motion. You want to make the bond between you and this individual stronger. Now, it's very important that you understand that your will, this flame, is only a tool. The true power comes from within you. That's where the true power lies. You also want to articulate what your intentions are. So you want to speak these words, these intentions, into reality. I'm going a little fast here, but again, it's very important to focus and push your energy and your intention into the flame. Whatever your intentions are for that individual, whether they be love, lust, having a more firmer connection, are all very important here. Speak this into intention. Now, something that I cannot do on camera is that what you guys can do in the privacy of your own room or home is you have to elicit an emotion. You want to really elicit an emotion from deep down. And there's no truer emotion than masturbation. So, to really burn this and closing this before you blow this candle out, and really bonding this into, pushing this into reality here, is that you find yourself a private corner somewhere and you do everything that we just talked about. You know, you have take as long as you need to really kind of push your will and manifest this into reality. And as you're thinking of this individual, again, if you have a link, that's fine. If you don't, that's fine too. The link only serves as a better way to help you focus your intent. But you can still do this without it. And what you want to do is, and again, in the privacy of your room or wherever you go, you begin to see this individual and you begin to masturbate to the image of what I've just discussed. And then what kind of image you guys have, that's the image, that's what you use, okay? So once you feel as if you've pushed enough energy into this ritual, one way that you really know that it's really beginning to work is you'll really begin to feel tired. It'll really begin to kind of become very, very draining as you're focusing in and you're pushing your energy and your desire into the flame. You'll really begin to feel really, really tired. It'll be very, very taxing. Now, 15 minutes can turn out to seem like a half an hour, and a half an hour can turn out to feel like an hour, you know. But you do it as long as you have to until you believe you've achieved the intent that you wanted to achieve, which is to make the bond between you and this individual a perfect union. Again, remember to speak your desires into reality. That is very, very important. Remember, the energy and the magic come from you. The flame is a tool. It's the quickest way to get there. Okay? In actuality, if you are in tuned enough, you can do this without a candle. But for purposes of being a beginner, the candle magic is the best way. And what you do is you feel this energy, you push it, you will it into existence. And remember, you're not asking. You're commanding your desire into reality. Once you feel like you've achieved this, so shall it be done. All right. So, as I said, the most important part of this, of candle magic, is to really, the candle is basically a conduit, if you will, to kind of bridge the intent. It's very important when you're doing candle magic also to really concentrate and focus on your breathing. Your breathing is very, very important because you want to become one with the flame, with the candle. Okay? Not only that, it's really, really, really about intent, and it's really easy. Anyone can really do this. This is basically a beginner, an introduction to beginner magic here. This is one of the first things that I learned how to do was candle magic, actually, to manifest an intent. So again, now I just want to preface this by saying this. In no way am I advocating making someone do something against their will. Again, I use this a lot to help people make their relationship stronger, okay? To increase the level of intimacy, if you will, increase the level of communication in an already existing relationship. Now, could you theoretically use this to cast a love spell on someone else? And the answer would be yes. You could, and it's very, very effective. But you also got to understand that it would behoove you to make sure that this person has some type of attraction towards you as well, because you don't want to make someone do something against their will. All right, and I want to be very, very clear about this. I am merely showing you the technique. How you choose to use the technique is completely up to you. We're all adults here. I just want to quantify that statement, okay, by saying that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some questions about this. I'm going to show just guys comment here. Should I move into the Sigil stuff and then take some questions about both, or do you want me to talk a little bit more about candle, or do you want me to take some answers on some candle magic, any questions you guys may have, and then I'll move on to the Sigil magic. It's completely up to you guys. So let me get some comments here to let me know where you guys want me to move with this situation. Anybody? No questions. I'm just gonna move right on to the Sigil magic. Okay, doesn't look like I have any kind of questions here. Just got a whole lot of watchers here. Is that what I got? Just kind of watching to see what's gonna happen, huh? Okay, I got. Can we do both? Oh yeah, both Sigil spell and love. Yeah, you can keep it separate and question stinks. Okay, carry on. All right, well, no worries. What I'm going to do here is then I'm going to move on to some Sigil magic. Tell you how to do that. And then we will. Hello, Shawnee. How you guys doing? Hello, everybody. I'm gonna do a shout out to everybody in a minute. So first of all, how long does it take to work? Okay, so. That's a good question. So here's the thing. A good rule of thumb, okay, is that you do it. Okay, you do the ritual of the spell, and as with anything, most things in magic, you do it and you forget about it. You do it and you forget about it. That's a good rule of thumb. You do it and you forget it. You put all of your energy and all your attentions into it. You do the spell and you forget about it. And you go on about your day. All right? Normally, you'll begin to see usually within a couple weeks or so, kind of like get like a phone call or an email or something like that, to kind of start to get the ball rolling a little bit. Like lines of communication usually start to open up a little bit, or like a friend of a friend type of thing. So it usually kind of takes that path there. So, but let me so now let me move on to Sigil magic here, and then I'm going to take a whole slew of questions on both the Sigil magic and the candle magic. Let me take a little drink real quick. All right. Thank you guys for sticking with me. Okay, this live stuff's a little bit more difficult than the recorded stuff, I tell you. All right, so here we go. So Sigil magic. So the most important thing to realize about Sigil magic, just as in candle magic, is the intent. You have to really spell out exactly what you want, what your desire is. Okay, and always speak in the affirmative. Okay, so for example, I just wrote something out here. I'm just going to use this as an example. We'll put, okay, I am handsome. Okay? I think I'm okay, but you know, I want to be like super handsome, super dashing to everybody, right? So first you write out, you know, a sentence or so about what exactly, like, I want to be more prosperous. I want to. I am handsome. I am healthy, or I am very healthy, or I am a very healthy eater. Whatever the affirmative is, that's what you want to speak. You want to put that, you know, whatever you want to put into reality. That's what you want to put. So you guys kind of get the idea, okay? So you write out, like I said, I put I am handsome. So you write out whatever your intent is, okay? So take yourself a pen, a marker, and then, again, this is very, 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 very simple beginner stuff here, okay? So you write out your sentence, and what you do is, you know, what you want to do is you want to cross out all of the vowels, okay? So, okay. And like I said, you guys could just follow, you know, kind of watch this and then do it yourself or something like that. So there you go. All the vowels, okay? And then what you want to do is, after that, all right, you have all of your consonants, all of your double consonants, you want to cross them out as well, all right? So, all right. So that's going to give you something like this. All right. Make sure you guys got that. Okay. Okay, so, all right, so I have HNDS, okay? So then what you want to do is, okay, you want to take these letters, these 4 letters here, all right? And what you want to do is you want to, now, again, what you want to do is, now, I tend to want to get, I like to get a little fancy with this, all right? I'm somewhat artistically inclined, as you can see behind me, but for purposes of this, I'll try to make it really, really simple. So, probably like a little something like that. I'm going to show you guys in a minute, no worries. So, something like that. You know, you kind of get fancy with it. Nothing, you know, nothing too crazy. And again, I'm going for expediency, but you would do this a whole lot neater than that. So you want to circle that. All right, you want to try to make sure all of the whole thing is in a really tight circle. Okay. Again, you can get a little bit more fancy with it if you want to, whatever. Just make it so that only you're understanding, you know, what's going on. So, again, we come down to the charging. Okay, so again, most magic has a lot to do with emotion and intention. So again, the most rawest of emotion, you got 2 raw emotions, okay? So the first raw emotion would be anger, where you're really, 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 really angry. So a lot of times when somebody wants to do some type of revenge thing on someone, they'll write out some type of intention, want to harm this person or something like that. Again, I'm not advocating any of that. I'm merely giving some instruction here. All right. And then you do exactly what I said. You cross out some vowels, cross out any of the double letters. You write them down in some kind of cuneiform, if you will. Put a tight circle around it, okay? And then you really want to imbue that sigil, because that's your sigil at this point. That is your sigil. And you want to imbue that with any kind of a raw emotion that you have. Now, the very best raw emotion, again, is when you for lack of a better term, masturbation yet again, because that really helps you really burn this image into reality, if you will. Again, masturbation and anger are two of the most rawest emotions, and you want to really burn. You want to picture this sigil. You want to picture this as being like a bright orangey, like almost like a branding, if you will. The kind of when you're heating up a branding iron, you want to see that imagery. You want to burn this sigil into reality. After you do that, okay, you want to take this again. Now you want to take this. You want to fold it. Okay. Now some people like this. Okay, you fold it. And what I do is I have this book that I put all of my sigils in. I got a bunch of these laying around different places. And you want to place it in this book here. You want to take this and you want to put this somewhere safe. Like in a closet, just somewhere out of sight. So what you want to do, again, you have to remember the most important part of this is all about intent. Okay, it's all about intent. And again, the strongest, the biggest thing here is to put your statement. It's more like a statement in the affirmative. Okay, once you do that, all right. Then the charging part here. A lot of people have a problem with the charging part because a lot of people really don't know how to charge sigils correctly. Again, it really elicits a very strong emotion. It's kind of hard with a piece of paper too, just to be honest with you. It's a lot easier for people to push their intent and looking into a flame, okay, to push their intent using a candle as a conduit more so than it is a piece of paper, because most of us we use paper all the time to write stuff and stuff like that. So it's a little bit harder of a transition. But, all right, you can use the same tactic. You charge the sigil, okay, with that emotion via the masturbation, via the anger. You fold it up. You put it in the book somewhere. And, again, remember, out of sight, out of mind. You forget about it. Again, these are really, really, really super, super easy methods of magic, beginner magic you can use. Is very, very accessible to everyone and very, very easy. Okay, so you don't have to be a skilled magician or anything like that, and you don't have to worry about any kind of dark entities or any kind of dark intent coming over you, especially if you're speaking something into the affirmative. Now, there are certain demonic entities and angelic entities that have their own particular sigils that are specifically to them. And if you want to work with those spirits, then it would be similar, but it would be a little bit different. Okay, it would be a little bit different. Some people like to take the sigils and burn them and things of that nature. What I have a tendency to do with my sigils is I keep them open. I brand them. I keep them open, and once they begin to kind of take shape, and my desire is pretty much met, then I'll go ahead and I'll burn a sigil, and that'll be that. People have a different ways that they kind of do the end game thing with the sigils here, but I'm not going to get into the whole angelic and demonic sigil side of things, is because you do have to be somewhat skilled and know what you're doing when you're starting to mess around with other entities and spirits like that. That is a whole other ball game. That's a whole another level there. All right, and I don't want to really be responsible for somebody summoning up something and I got to help them out to get rid of it. You know what I mean? So that type of thing. So those are all two really, really basic tools as far as candle magic and sigil magic. Again, really easy. Anybody could do it. Don't have to be an expert in it. The most important thing with both is intent. Now, with the candle magic, out of the both, which one do I prefer? When candle magic actually is pretty damn effective. okay? Out of the both, for a beginner, I believe that, in my personal opinion, in my personal experience, I believe that candle magic is infinitely more, to me, candle magic works a little quicker. You know, it's easier to kind of visualize things a little bit better, to kind of burn things into intent. Maybe just kind of easier, you know, when I'm seeing the flame, it's easy for me to kind of, you know, connect the two together and branding, pushing my desire into reality here. So I find candle magic to be a lot more, for beginners anyway, a lot more reliable, and it's just kind of easier. It's easier to work with than sigil magic is. So with that being said, let me take some questions here. Okay, so what's up? Hug the people you love, kiss the people you miss, feel love in your mind. Okay, what's up, Da Vinci? Okay, Archangel Michael, why a sigil is on paper does not have feelings. Okay, yeah, okay, wow. Shit, funny. I don't want to bring my past lover back, but wanted to see your handsome face. Cool, appreciate it, Catwoman. Thank you for joining me. Appreciate it. Okay. Can you share one experience manifested using candle magic? Okay. You know what? All right. I got 2 stories for you guys. 2. If someone does either of them, will they open up the mind against these? Not just said no. You will not. What if the item that belongs to the person is not available? Then the candle will suffice. Okay. Is it really effective using both simultaneously? Both methods? You know, okay, that's a good question. Using both methods simultaneously. I would either do one or the other. You know, I think it's not really necessary to kind of do 2 at the same time. You know what I mean? Because you know, with the candle magic, you're speaking it into the affirmative, and if you got something slightly kind of a little bit different written down, you don't kind of want, you know, things to kind of like because believe it or not, there was a spell a love spell someone did, and then someone else did a love spell as well. The funny thing about it is that the love spell they were doing for themselves was really beginning to show results. But what ended up that they were doing for themselves, okay? And I strongly suggest that you guys, if you do this technique or this method, do it for yourself. You don't need someone to do a magic love spell for you. As a matter of fact, let me go on record of saying, it's better if you do your own love spell as opposed to having someone else do it. I'll just put it to you like that. It's been my experience that when you do your own love spell, you know, no one knows your situation better than you, and you're putting your own energies and your own desires into what you want. When somebody else is doing it, you know, they're not really, you know, you don't know how much energy, how much they're really connected to your energy. And if you're looking for a really specific thing, that could kind of gum up the works a little bit, especially if you're looking for something more expedient. You know your situation better than most, so you would know, you know, someone contacting you, they hadn't been in contact with you for like 2 months. All of a sudden, you're like getting an email, a friend of a friend. You'll be able to notice little telltale signs, okay? And plus, when you put your own energy out there, I've always felt as though it's always better to do your own magic work for yourself. Don't have somebody else do it. I mean, you can have somebody like do it like a tarot reading for you or something like that, but when it comes down to actual nuts and bolts spells, then it's better that you do your own spell for yourself. Okay? Okay, so to allow yourself to orgasm or just let it climax and hold it. I hear different things. When doing sex magic, okay, I'm not gonna get into sex magic right now. That's a whole other thing. And maybe at some point I will do a video on it about holding your climax and things like that to manifest. But there is a degree of that with the candle magic when you're pushing it into reality. You're kind of as you're manifesting. As soon as you get the image in your head, you get the final outcome. That's when you push it into reality, and that's when it will manifest. Okay, so I agree. Do your own work. Now, okay, so let me tell you about the two stories. One happened when I was young, and one happened when I was somewhat of an adult. So, when I was, a lot of you know my background, so I was tired of kind of getting. I used to be a horrible, horrible, horrible student. And so what I did one day out of the blue, I just decided to say, you know what, I would like to, I wish I could get this grade, get like A's and B's. And I was very specific about the kind of grades that I wanted and how I wanted it to be. And I just was writing it down on a piece of paper. I was just writing it down on this blank piece of paper. I was just writing it down. I really wasn't even aware of what I was doing. I just was writing what I wanted to happen in my life because I was tired of being picked on because I was like, I was called stupid or loser or reject and stuff like that early on in my life. So I was just kind of writing out how I wanted things. It was like a paragraph or so, the kind of grades that I wanted. I wanted respect. I wanted all the girls to want me. I wanted to be strong. I wanted to be a leader, that type of thing. So I kind of wrote all of that down. I wanted to have money, all that kind of stuff. So I kind of wrote it down. And all, you guys know the stories about what happened in my life, so forth, so on. And so I went and lived with my grandmother. And all of these great things were happening. I mean, I went from like a C minus D student to like an A B student. I was on the student council. All of the girls was on me. Every last one of them. It was crazy. But, and I was like this really popular person and all of that. I got mad respect from everyone. And so it's like I went from a zero to a hero. And I was like, wow, this is great. So when I ended up coming back to my family's home, and I was, bringing all my stuff back from my grandmother's house, I happened to run. It had fell behind a radio. I kind of was like, what's this? I picked this up, and I was looking at it, and I kid you not, word for word, everything on that piece of paper had come true. Like almost exactly like the respect, the popularity, the grades. I was getting lined up to be able to make a lot of money because remember, I got my academic scholarship when I was in 8th grade for college. So I for college, I had an academic scholarship for college in the 8th grade. So a lot of things just like that's how it happened. So that's what, and I kind of put that into intent. I kind of thought about it, and also that happened with the scholarship too. We were told that two students were going to be chosen to receive this academic scholarship for achievement, and I kind of thought like, wow. I kind of thought about it. I envisioned myself having it, how I would feel, how it would be, what people would think of me, and like I said, bang, it happened. So, also, one thing that I've noticed about children, about people that are younger, they are far better at manifesting things into reality than us as adults are. Why? Because as we get older, all kinds of gooky shit starts to come into our lives, bills and the job and things like that. When you are young and have a fertile mind, there's an aspect of purity there. And so, as a child, a young person can manifest things far easier, okay, and quicker than people that are older, okay? And so that's just a little bit of nugget of information for you. So that was one. So we're talking about candle magic here. Sexual candle magic. So, okay. Well, early on, when I, found out a couple things about candle magic, I want to see. Well, let me see if this comes true now. So it was this girl I really, really, really wanted to be with. This girl. I mean, she was everything. She was like, oh my gosh, she's hot, she's gorgeous, she's popular, all that kind of stuff. And she ignored everybody. She didn't give the time of day to anybody. And so I was like, I wonder, because by that time, I was kind of like really deep in the trenches of my family stuff. So my life was kind of had taken like a U-turn. So I really started kind of getting involved a little bit in certain magics and stuff. So, make a long story short, I did somewhat of a ritual similar to what I described to you. Of course, I was in the room because that type of thing you don't want to do in front of people. All right, so, and so I, how it would happen, how we would meet, we would be at the skating ring and all that kind of stuff, and this and that. And it kind of played this whole scenario out in my mind, how it was going to be, and I spoke it into reality and what people would think and how they would feel. And so, what ended up happening was this girl, somehow we kind of, she was skating or whatever, and she, we ended up bumping into each other and ended up, having a conversation. This girl was super awesome popular. I was kind of like, I was on a downward track at this point. Kind of hit it off, everything was cool. I thought it was like totally platonic. Well, I wanted it to be more, but I thought, hey, she's totally being platonic about it. But I said, hey, I'm seeing some kind of traction here with the candle magic, because, hey, I kind of, I put it out there, and, this girl never noticed me before. Wow, it works. So that was over the weekend. Went back to school on Monday, and lo and behold, she's transferred into my class. And she's not sitting too far away from me. I'm thinking, like, what the hell? Wow, okay, so now this girl's she's within striking range at this point. So I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And as fate would have it, teacher, share a book, this, that, and the third, share your books. She just got transferred, didn't have a book. She wants to share my book with me. Hey, wow. What do you know? What a coinky-dink. So, we're sharing the book together. And it was just like, kind of like these serendipity type of things that would just kind of happen. Like, we were kind of like being each other's way. One thing led to another. She ended up being my girlfriend for a little bit. So, does it work? Yeah. But the most important thing you gotta remember here is this. It's all about intent. And it's all about desire. So I was younger, so it was a lot easier for me to manifest that into reality because of the purity of the desire. Okay, because it wasn't just like I want to be with. It was more than lust. It was like puppy love, if you will. So it was like puppy love and lust. There was a lot of emotion. So I was really able to focus in on that. And as an adolescent, like I said, there's just something, there's an extra special something that in that adolescent energy that you have, as opposed to when you become adult and then all of this kind of shit starts happening, like bills. In other words, kind of life happens. And then when life happens, you kind of get weighed down by all of this stuff. So again, that's how these things have a tendency to happen. Okay. And again, if you guys, once you do this, if you're looking like, oh my God, all of a sudden this person just pick up the phone, hey, what's up? Where are you? I love you. Be in my life like today, now. I mean, that, that's not going to happen like that. It's going to kind of be, there's going to be like a series of coincidences is what's going to happen. A series of coincidences is going to happen. That's how it's going to play out, like a series of coincidences, if you will. Okay, and that's kind of how it's going to work. A friend of a friend, that type of thing. So that's kind of like how magic works. That's how it works. So from the outside perspective, if you can turn off, your logical brain says, well, this this person was there and I was there, and it just kind of happened like that. That's what it was. But then your subconscious mind saying, wait a minute, how did this is another coincidence again? So your subconscious mind is telling you one thing and your logical mind is telling you another. And that's a lot of times how these things kind of happen, okay? Let me take some questions here. Okay, well, to what time should practice reading tarot? Some people say till 7 p.m. You can read tarot anytime you want. I mean, any time of day or night, doesn't really matter. Okay, I did have to say, man, by accident, I'll do stuff. Okay, so that was from me being loved by Big Mom. Oh, God. Without such a matter. Okay, so you guys got some solid questions here. Show your support. Hit. Okay, cool. Intentions is powerful. There is no donation button. Nice bracelets. Thank you. No, I do not have any donation button as of yet. I'm just kind of putting this information out there right now. Probably the next time I do this, we'll have a donation button. But right now, this ain't a money thing, y'all. It's just me putting information out there, giving people this information to be able to help themselves. Next time around, I'll put a donation button on there. You guys want to give a donation, that'd be cool, all right? Also, I appreciate the compliment about the bracelets. Work if the other person is attached. Well, I would say if the other person is attached, does it work? I'll say this. Candle magic with the right intent is strong magic. It works. I have had results. I've seen other people that have had results under almost impossible circumstances. So, from what I said, you take that and then you plug that into that statement, and I think you'll get your answer. Again, I'm not going to advocate for or against. What my job is to do is to kind of put it out there, put the information out there, and then you use it as you will, okay? How did I get the name Adonis? Well, that's a long story. And I'm not ready to tell it just yet. So, all right. We appreciate that. Cool. Black candles work instantaneously. That hasn't been my... When you're working with entities and things like that, then that's when the whole black and white candle thing becomes an issue. But for aspects of love magic, love lust or love lust or more have more of a connectivity. Red and pink work best every time. Black candles are more for ritualistic purposes when you're doing rituals with entities and for the help of entities and things like that. But for your own intent, now also listen, a lot of people, what they do is they'll have you can do a multi-candle ritual as well. So you can have like a red candle, a blue candle, a purple candle, and you can work multiple intentions at the same time. That is a lot more advanced, okay? That's a lot more advanced. You gotta know what you're doing, but you can definitely do that, okay? Nice, glad to be here. Everyone keep saying hi, Adonis. Love your reads. Thanks, I appreciate it very much. Cash your intention, then let go. Exactly. That's exactly it. You want to cast your intentions and you want to let it go because you want to put it out there to the universe for the universe to grab it and take it and push it where it needs to go to. So that's very important. You put it out there, you put the intent out there, and then you let the universe takes it where it needs to go. Okay, don't dwell on it. Do not dwell on it. Okay, that's why once you blow out the candle, the masturbation process. You push it out there, you put it in there, you blow out the candle. That's it. It's done. And you go on about your day or your week or whatever. You don't kind of stay and contemplate about it. Same thing with the sigil magic. Same thing. You write down the intent, you fold it up, you put it away. Now, the reason why a lot of people burn their sigils, right after they sends the intent, and then a lot of people kind of burn the sigils right after. I don't do that because, for me, burning the sigil is a way of closing the gate. It's kind of like, so if I'm working with an entity or something like that, and I burn a sigil, then it's over. It's done. That's my mode of how I do things. Not everyone kind of does it that way. So I deal with my sigils. I deal with them the same way as I would deal with a sigil working with an entity or something like that. I do it the exact same way. I kind of keep it open, and once it begins to manifest, then I burn it and it's done. Okay. So again, it really depends on the individual. Everyone has their own little kind of tweaks and stuff like that. All right. What's on the moon? Sorry, you. If you don't mind to share, I'll probably hit you back on the private side with that info. Okay. Would you have to repeat in the future? Good question. Some people, once they put it out there, things begin to kind of wane a little bit. You can. So this is okay. That's a good question. So put it to you like this. So let's just say that you put a love spell on someone, and it works, okay? All right? But then things start kind of, so let me use the context. Let's just say your girlfriend or your boyfriend, okay? Things are going great. You already have a great relationship, and you do a love spell, okay? And things really get good. You guys are like loving each other. You're holding hands. Everything is fantastic. But then things kind of start to wane a little bit. They start to wane a little bit. So what you could do is you can repeat the love spell to kind of like re-energize and recharge the situation, to put the energy back into the situation. Yes, you could do that. But let me just say this with any love spell, okay? Because also I'm going to tell you, okay, now I'm going to tell you guys the bad side of the love spell aspect as well. So I'll put it out there. We're going with the beautiful pink fuzzy stuff. That's great. You do it, it works. You re-energize it. But now we're going to kind of get to the bad part of the whole love spell thing, because there is a dark side to this. Let's say that, for whatever reason, then, once you re-energize things, you and your significant other start having problems again. Then you got to come back and then re-energize the situation again. And then a couple months later, it kind of happens again. At some point, you got to say, you know what? Maybe it would be best if you just kind of like let things go where they're going to go. You can't just keep trying to force a situation into existence if that situation wants to pull away from you. You understand? So, that's when things kind of start getting crazy. But the worst situation, and I really need you guys to understand this part of a love spell. I know of a situation in which this person had a love spell put on them. And it was hellish trying to get this person had a love spell put on them against their will, okay? It was very hellish and problematic trying to get this person to kind of come to their senses, if you will. And in some cases, it can end up making a person very, very sick. And very, very, it can harm that individual. In some cases, it can even drive you fucking bananas, okay? And that's really something that you really want to keep in mind too. So, again, my job is to kind of put it out there, show you the tool. But in no way am I advocating, hey, throw a spell on someone against their will, and then they start showing aspects of kind of wanting to get away from you, and you're like, nah, I kind of want to draw you in closer. I'm totally against that. And again, practitioners that really, really get good at this, you can really end up really what was described to me is that she knew she couldn't understand what was going on with her, okay? She just knew that she craved this individual sexually all the time, like constantly craving this individual, okay? Sure, I mean, hey, she even said, hey, the sex is great, but I really don't like this person, but I'm kind of like addicted to the situation. And what began to happen over a period of time is she would kind of try to pull herself away from it and start kind of doing her a lot of harm emotionally and mentally and stuff like that. So you really want to be careful about that kind of stuff. Okay, person clothing. Do you have to have it in your presence? You can have it in your presence, or you can have it in your yeah. Basically, what you want to do is you want to put it in your right hand. Basically, when you're pushing that intention into the spell. Okay, you fall out of love, then you are stuck. Okay, my ex did a love spell to me to have me bow down to his feet. He ruined my life. Well, sorry about that, Claire. That's exactly what I'm talking about. People trying to do something against someone's will, and then it can end up having disastrous effects. Okay, there's a dark side. Be careful, yin and yang. Actually, God is always in charge. I've only seen dark side of love spells, facts. Okay, well, I've seen some positive aspects as well. I need a cleanse. Okay. Johnny, right? Okay, you can't mess with others' free will. That kind of tampering builds bad karma. True, it can. That can be used as part of the love spell too. Yes, it absolutely can. It absolutely can. Yes, that part, the masturbation is a part of what I'm talking about with the love spell. Yes, it can be dangerous, especially if you are the person that breaks up. You want to move on, and then the person you put the spell on becomes somewhat type of stalker. Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing too. I'm glad you brought that up, because inversely, you could also be the person, you could put a love spell on someone, right, that you really wanted. And then, you things are kind of great, and you guys have a lot of fun together, you love each other, and you're like, you know what, okay, I kind of want to move on. Well, wait a minute, okay? You broke it, you bought it. And so you put that spell on someone, then all of a sudden that person becomes a stalker. That is highly probable. And I've heard of that happening too. So again, there are cautionary tales here. This got my attention. Okay. Does the phase of the moon matter when doing candle spells? With some spells, with love spells, not so much. I mean, if when you become more of an expert at it, there are certain waxings and wings of the moon that do play a factor in things like a new moon and things like that. But for a beginner, it doesn't really matter. That's right, Golden Path. Good looks, handler. Cord cutting. Cord cutting does work, and that also can help break a spell. I'm going to do a video on how to bind people that mean you harm. Also, I'll talk about cord cutting, and I'll also talk about how you can tell if someone put a magic spell on you. Okay, what are the telltale signs that someone's put a spell on you? I'm going to do a video on that probably in a couple weeks or so. I got another subject I want to talk to. Plus, I want to drop I'm doing an interview with a man called PT. I'll put some stuff out there about this guy. This guy's the truth. This individual was talking about this whole coronavirus thing like last year, big time, and a lot of stuff that he talked about came through. He's a good friend of mine, and he knows his stuff. So he's the truth. So I'm gonna do an interview with him and put it up here. I'm thinking about doing it live. I don't know, but I'm definitely gonna put it out there. I think you guys are gonna love it. Okay, back to this here. If you realize someone has done this to you, is there a way that you can break it off? Yeah, cord cutting. But also I'm going to do a specific video on it because there are specific things to kind of look for. One telltale sign I could say is that the way you can tell really is that let's say you've moved on, okay, to someone else, and you're kind of in another committed relationship, all right, and all of a sudden this person is kind of on your mind. They're kind of they're kind of always in the back of your mind. You're kind of thinking about them constantly, and you're thinking, wait a minute, I thought I was done with this, and then those thoughts kind of creep into your mind. Remember, the way it'll happen, it'll manifest as kind of like a coincidence or something, but not really. And then you kind of find yourself really thinking about this person. Maybe this person kind of ends up in your dreams a few times, and you're like, damn, what is going on? That's a quick, fast way to kind of tell that something's going on. All right. So, okay, perfect. What is the use of salt about? What is he? I'm not really understanding the question. I mean, as far as warding off evil spirits, I mean that I don't understand the question. But if that's what you mean, salt wards off evil spirits. Can you finish your story? You reeled it in. Laugh out loud. I reeled it in. Yeah. So, yeah. So the bottom line, the story was, I got the girl, lasted for a while, and shit happens, and we broke up. I mean, things began to kind of wean a little bit, and I wasn't going to redo the spell again. It was just like I just was really kind of like, when you're young and you're foolish, you kind of play around with things. You really don't know what you're doing. You get a result. You're like, okay, great, I got the result. So. That was the lesson in that. I did it. It worked. Wow. At the time, she was definitely out of my league at that time. Now, not so much. But anyway. So, yeah. So, let's see here, guys. Any more questions about anything? Before I shut this baby down. By the way, guys, I'm dropping my readings tomorrow. I'm going to be doing some love readings tomorrow, all 12 signs. So definitely look out for that. They're probably going to be dropping sometime in the late afternoon or something like that. I got a couple of readings, like 2 readings to get done. So I'm probably going to get them done. Then I'm going to drop the readings. If there's any change, I'll definitely let you guys know in the community tab. If I don't drop them tomorrow, then it's going to be Sunday. But I'm leaning more towards Saturday. That was happening to me. Okay, know your childhood story, how you got to do readings. Oh, you want to know about my childhood? I have like my life story in my videos, so you check that out. It'll tell you everything you need to know about my personal story. It's the name of it is how my father almost killed me. I almost died by my father, something like that. So that's what the title of the video is. So you can't miss it. Can you use scripting and love spells to focus on your end results? Scripting. I guess you could. Sculpting. You mean? I've never done that, but I suppose it's possible. Possibly possible. Sure. Can you look at the picture of the person while doing the candle spell? Absolutely, you sure can. You can look at the picture. Again, the picture is a conduit. So if you can look at the picture, look at the picture. You look at the aspect here is to look at the candle and push your energy into the candle. But if you can kind of have the candle extended, you look at the picture and the candle at the same time, and you can still maintain the same type of focus. Absolutely you can. Absolutely you can. Again, because it's all about the intent and the energy. But again, that aspect of masturbation, once you put it in there, if you need to look at the picture to help you get more aroused about the situation, then yeah, I guess I can see you can do that. If you have constant dreams, astral sexual projection is usually agreeable. Do you think someone can do astral sexual projection to you in your dreams without your consent? Yeah, if somebody is strong enough, yes, they can. If somebody knows what they're doing as far as black magic goes, yeah, it's very possible. Very possible. Very, very possible. I saw your life story video. It was fascinating. Thank you. I appreciate it. How can I contact you? You can contact me via my website. Yeah. Let's go to my website. You can contact me via right there. Do you have a number? Do I have a number? Yeah, I got a number, but I can't get my number out on my website. I can't do that. Maybe I have to get to know you better. I'll give you my number, but I can't do that. I'd be getting calls all day. People have all kinds of issues. I would be on the phone all day. He said that he can smell if I've been in the room, even if he wasn't there at the same time. Okay. I don't know. How does someone love you to death, then all of a sudden and nothing? Can that be a spell or black magic? It could be. I mean, listen. Never underestimate a person's ability to be a flake. Okay? So a person can say, "Oh, I love you to death. I want you in my life so badly." and then they want you they want you so bad until they have you, and then they move on to something else. So, there's a certain degree of a human element to this too. People can be extremely fickle and flaky. Appreciate you too. However, there also could be an aspect of somebody really loves you and really loves you and wants to be around you, and all of a sudden there is like a sudden change. My advice would be, make sure you examine all of the natural elements first. In my business, what I like to do is I try to alleviate the obvious first. All right, I try to alleviate all of the obvious first before I automatically jump to it's demonic or some type of entity or something like that, or some kind of spell. You got to alleviate. You got to check. It's got to check a lot of boxes for me to be like, okay, there's something else going on here. So you want to be very careful about automatically blaming things on something of an occult nature before you know the whole story. Now, if you know this person and all of a sudden they have a very dramatic turn, then that would be something that, that probably could be a consideration. Okay, how does someone love you? Okay, what is the best? I just like your energy. I feel you are good soul. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I once a person, but the universe sent me someone better. What? Okay, well, that can happen too. You found somebody out there that was better for you, so that can happen naturally. Initially, I said I've been trying to cut cords with someone, but about 2 years, and it only works temporarily. Any ideas? I'm going to. That sounds like a situation where you need to bind that person if they're causing you harm. Like I said, I'm going to do a video on that. There are specific things you need to do when you're buying someone. All right. To be grateful, girl. Okay, this is so interesting on this topic. Okay, cool. Looking at photos, masturbating, trying their hand at magic. Okay. That is what happened. Thank you. I'll definitely be checking you on your next video. Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, guys. So, with that said, I am going to begin to kind of wrap this up a little bit. So, as I said here, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember, this is just like basic stuff. Okay, this isn't like this is no way is going to make you like a Merlin, a magician, or something. These are just basic things, the basic entry level magic things. I'm not going to really get into anything kind of hardcore in here. But I am at some point going to be, just to give you guys FYI here, I am going to be doing some type of mentoring at some point, if you will. I think that's important. So I'm going to kind of roll something out. I'm kind of working on it, but I'll kind of roll it out in June. Some type of mentoring program, if you will. So that's what I'm going to do for sure. Okay, thank you. Guys. What review discussion came in late. Have a great weekend. Keep safe and healthy. You do the same. Appreciate it. So, again, I'm going to wrap this thing up, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'll keep you guys posted on my community tab. What I'm going to do as far as the love readings go, it's going to be either dropped tomorrow, it's going to be dropped Sunday. I'll keep you guys posted on the community tab. Again, so I love you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Adonis. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.